Every year after 70, thousands of seniors lose years of independence, not because of disease, but because of 3 quiet mistakes that almost nobody talks about. In this video, we'll uncover the 3 things you should never say, never do, and never go. Each one silently drains your strength, your confidence, or your will to keep exploring life. I'll show you how these hidden habits can make the difference between living fully or shrinking into limitation. And unlike what you might expect, we're not starting with the obvious. We'll begin with the one that steals the most from you, right under your nose. Stay with me until the end, because the 3rd mistake is the one I see robbing more seniors of joy than heart disease or arthritis ever could. And I'll share a story of someone who reversed it. I'm Dr. Eli Morgan, and after 3 decades caring for older adults, I've learned that the smallest choices, words, actions, even the places we allow ourselves to be, decide how much life we actually get to live. Today I want to hand that power back to you. Item number 1, never go where you feel invisible. Too many people over 70 still spend time in places that quietly drain their spirit, not because anyone means harm, but because they stop being seen. Maybe it's a group you've belonged to for years, but the conversations always pass you by. Maybe it's a family dinner where your opinions are politely ignored, or maybe it's a social club where you feel like a guest instead of a valued member. Researchers at the University of Michigan recently found that older adults who routinely feel invisible in social settings show higher levels of stress hormones, the same hormones that accelerate memory decline and weaken the immune system. That means it isn't just uncomfortable to stay where you're dismissed. It actually reshapes your health. After 70, your energy is too valuable to waste on rooms that shrink you. Choose instead the spaces where your laughter matters, where people ask your opinion, where your presence is missed when you're not there. If you ever notice yourself leaving a place feeling smaller than when you entered, that's your sign to stop going back, because you cannot afford to spend your final decades being invisible. Every day should be spent where you are recognized, valued, and truly alive. Item number 2, never do what damages your body just to please others. One of the hardest lessons I see people struggle with after 70 is this: you don't owe your body to anyone else. Yet I still meet seniors who carry boxes that are too heavy because they don't want to be a bother, or who walk an extra mile in pain just to keep up with the group, or who eat food that upsets their stomach so they won't offend the host. Here's the truth. After 70, your body doesn't repair like it once did. A single fall, one torn muscle, or even one night of digestive distress can take weeks or months to recover. The Centers for Disease Control reports that nearly 1 in 4 hospitalizations of older adults come from accidents at home, most starting with small favors or activities they didn't want to refuse. I want you to hear this clearly. Saying no is not selfish. It's wisdom. It protects your ability to stay independent. If someone asks you to do something that strains your back, your knees, or your stomach, you don't owe them your health in return. The people who truly love you will respect the boundaries that keep you safe. And every time you say no to what harms you, you're actually saying yes to more years of walking, traveling, and living life on your terms. Item number 3, never speak words that limit your future. The most dangerous thing you can do after 70 isn't lifting a heavy box or attending the wrong gathering. It's convincing yourself that life has already ended. And it usually starts with small sentences. I'm too old for that. It's too late to learn. That's not for someone my age. But every time you say those words, you shut a door that could have led to more health, more joy, or even more years of independence. Neuroscientists at Harvard have shown that older adults who engage in new learning, from music lessons to language study, not only keep their brains sharper, but actually grow new neural connections. In other words, Curiosity keeps the brain alive. I once worked with a retired engineer named Paul who picked up woodworking at 74. At first, his hands shook, and he felt clumsy. Within a year, he was teaching classes at his local senior center. His confidence returned, his mood lifted, and he told me, "I thought I was finished." Turns out I was just getting started, so if you catch yourself saying, "I can't" or "I'm too old," stop immediately. Replace it with, "I'll try." That simple shift in words creates momentum. Momentum that can transform not just your mind, but your health and your entire sense of purpose. The word that ties it all together. When you step back, all three of these warnings connect under one single word: protection. Protect your spirit by avoiding places that make you feel invisible. Protect your body by refusing tasks that slowly destroy it. And protect your future by refusing to speak words that lock doors before you've even tried to open them. These aren't restrictions, they're shields, because every year after 70 is precious, and what you protect now decides how much of that time will be lived with strength, joy, and dignity. Before we close, let me share a short story that proves it's never too late. Story: Helen's New Beginning. Helen was 76 when she told me, "I think my best years are behind me." She had stopped joining her church choir, stopped going to the garden club, and spent most afternoons watching television alone. One afternoon, her granddaughter invited her to a community art class. Helen resisted at first, saying, "I'm no artist," but eventually she agreed to go just once. The teacher welcomed her with a simple phrase: "You came at the perfect time." That sentence changed her. She kept coming back. Within a year, Helen's paintings hung in the local library. She had new friends, new energy, and even said her arthritis pain felt lighter because she finally had a reason to get out of bed each morning. Helen once believed she was too late to begin again. Now she tells people, "I almost missed the best chapter of my life." Final. You don't need decades to change. You only need today. So I'll ask you, which of these three will you start protecting first? Your spirit, your body, or your future? Leave your answer in the comments below. Your words may be exactly what another senior needs to hear to take their first step. And remember, time isn't waiting, but it is listening to the choices you make starting right now.